I hit all the right buttons this time, so that's good. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the Four Keeps, What Lies Below, Part 6. Today is January 13th, 2020, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to start each and every single one of our sessions with because we truly believe that it is important. And if you like hearing that message, consider, hey, you can hear it every single time you listen to one of our episodes. So if you go to either youtube.com/indooradventures or anywhere where podcasts can be found, except for Podbean, you can still find our old sessions, just not like the most recent stuff. Then you can also hear that message as often as you want from either your pocket or from our faces via video. Other than that, there are other ways of supporting the show, such as, hey, did you know that we're having a giveaway right now? It's a super cool thing. So you can win all sorts of excellent prizes. I didn't have them near my hands this time like I did last week, but if you win the giveaway, you could either get yourself Descent to Avernus, the collector's edition with the dice set, or Praise the Queen with the Tyranny of Dragons Collector's Edition book. You can get all of that from just, honestly, either following us on Twitch or answering a question, which is, what's your favorite campaign that we have played on this channel? So, like, we got Curse of Strahd, we got Ghost of Saltmarsh, and then we also got this game. So, like, double points if you answered this game. Like, inside brownie points anyways. It won't actually count towards the contest, but I'll know. Other than that, we also have our merch store back up. So if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, you can pick yourself you can pick yourself up some Hint of Fae gear for all of the Fae seasons. Moon Maiden stuff, it was the other hand I was supposed to move. And of course, you can also get things like Indoor Adventurer hoodies, mugs, and shower curtains. We'll figure it out. We also have our Patreon set up, so if you would like to go and support this show and also gain access to our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other but also from the community at large, consider going to patreon.com/indooradventures and sign up for the tiers. You'll also be able to join us on Discord, but of course you can join us on Discord anyways via this link in the side chat or in the link found below. But that is it for my spiel. I know it was rather long. Hey, RJ, who you playing today?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ and I'm playing Caelum, the Shatterkai Wizard Cleric.
Hey everybody, I'm LBHackEmUp and I'm going to be playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian.
Ahoy! I'm Cyber and I'm going to kill a bitch. I play Arjan, the Dragonborn Bloodhunter Cleric.
Hi, I'm Janae Keener of JanaeKeener.com. I'm going to be playing Cori, the Eldrin Paladin.
I'm so upset with myself, and I'm the Indoor Adventurer. Hello.
It's totally my fault. I'm the one who nudged my power cord.
It's fine. We fixed it. It's all good.
Okay.
And now I'm only sweaty on the inside. So, last we left off, you guys had finished your stay in the city of Surt's Hellier after having been contracted by the Hunters Guild, the Ceaseless Quarry, to go and investigate and explore a recently opened Fire Giant Stronghold halfway between the dwarven city of Surt's Hellier and the drow city of Tev El Yan. Upon hearing this, Arjan, you had a little bit more questioning that you had to ask the clerk as to why this job was posted, and you found out that it was indeed because there is a little bit of a political stalemate between the drow and the dwarves, where neither side wants to be necessarily responsible and land grabby when it comes to these new materials that have been uncovered or have possibly been uncovered. So instead, they have hired a group of hunters to just go and explore this area. The group of hunters, obviously, will be acting in the better interests of the city, but thankfully, they pay well, and honestly, that's all the Four Keeps really care about at this point. And all that Arjan really cares about at this point is some good coin. So, Your group ended up suiting themselves up with new armor, weapons, and other various forms of gear, and then headed deeper towards the Drow city of Tev Elyon. It took you several days' travel to actually get to that point, and upon arrival, you saw that there was another group of Drow mercenaries with some other races mixed in. One of which being a human with a bad disfigurement along the side of their face. And Arjan, you recognized this individual as Kodeth, a member of your Blood Hunter order that you had sworn that you would kill should you ever meet them again. However, in the best interest of not immediately having some sort of party dispute, as well as getting both the Drow and the Dwarven City involved, you decided to find another way into this stronghold. And as you were making your way up and around a different area, that is where we called it last week. So we are going to pick up with Arjan. You have seen Kodeth from afar. Are you continuing on with your party? Or are you just stopping right there and are going to beeline over?
He has stopped.
It does not seem as Kodeth has acknowledged your presence in the distance. Your group was far enough away that you didn't draw any excess attention.
Yeah. I mean, he's noticeably stopped.
Ow! Got Arjan!
Well, okay. Now we're spotted. It's
Oh, no!
fine.
Sorry.
Gwen, make a stealth check.
I was trying to be funny.
A natural 1.
Which means I don't have my character sheet pulled up yet because I'm a professional.
Which means...
I think it's a 4.
Gwen, your voice carries rather far. And as it does, as Cyber has said, the group of Drow as well as Kodeth seem to have taken note of your group, and one of the Drow puts their hand up and then begins walking towards you, and they yell halt. What is your group doing?
Oh, fuck.
What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
We're supposed to be down here, right?
Well, no, because the Drow are actually like against the dwarves in this endeavor, so I don't know if this is gonna start a national incident or not.
Kodeth.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
And there is the Drow with his hand up continues walking forward. But at that, the human pauses and looks up and squints towards your direction and then begins walking with the others and just, who said that?
Need all of you to stay out of this.
It's gonna be really difficult, buddy.
And the Drow just, you are not to go past this area. We are under the jurisdiction of Tev Elyon. I need you to stay put and out of danger.
It's been a while, Kodeth.
And at this, Kodeth continues walking forward and actually kind of like puts a hand on the Drow's shoulder and presses himself forward. And the three of you now can see a sight that Arjan has thought about many a times. And it is a good half of this human's face that is missing hair along his scalp outside of a few patches towards the back. They tend to keep their head shaved, more of like a military buzz kind of deal now, mostly because they are unable to grow hair back where that area was. Part of it is just melted down, and you can see that the skin is pulled tight, and it looks like part of the cheek is resting over where his mouth would normally be able to open, and these acid burns continue down their neck and onto their and extend into where you're guessing their shoulder is. You know it's their shoulder, but you're assuming the burns continue on. And they say, well, well, well. Never thought I would see you again, Blake. And just looks you up and down.
That's not his name.
And who may
Elbows
you-
Cori. He said not to get involved.
And
She just, like,
raises a finger. Hunters are talking. What do you think you're doing here, Blake?
My job.
Yeah, sure. Didn't just run into the city with your tail between your legs. That's what we all thought you did anyways. Finally had a
What?
sense to leave.
What?
I mean, look at you. You weren't like the rest of us anyways. As soon as you left, things got better. And now you're here.
Oh, I
Now
really
you're
want to punch
here.
this guy in the fucking face. Arjan, please.
Arjan. That's the name you're going by now.
Kodeth, are you ready to do this or what?
I would. But I have a job to do. And as much as I would love to kick your ass, I need to be on my best physical behavior if I want to get paid. And right now, coin means a little bit more to me than your existence.
All right. Always knew you were a coward.
And at that, they stand up. And
I mean, it's true, isn't it? That's why you had to lock me away. Because you couldn't stand to do it yourself.
and they look back towards the drow, and the drow's like doesn't really know what's going on at this point, and at this point the other drow have also arrived to kind of create also a small adventuring party behind Kodeth. And Kodeth looks at you and then looks at your group and says, after this is over, you come find me. If I kill you, it's a problem for my employer. If you kill me, it's a problem for your employer.
I really don't think it is.
Then who's your employer?
Who is our employer, and why would it be bad if we killed somebody?
Your
National
employer, from what you recalled, is technically the Ceaseless Quarry. However, it is the Ceaseless Quarry through the Dwarven Kingdom. So you know, and are guessing, that Kodeth has also been hired in a similar fashion through the Drow Kingdom. So you have the understanding that should a hiree of the Dwarven Kingdom be responsible for the death of somebody in the Drow Kingdom, that they would have to take measures beyond this base, beyond just like throwing some coin at the other as reparations, especially as part of a land dispute settlement.
I thought the whole point of hiring intermediaries was that they could kill each other.
You know that this is what you assume will happen, but if you still want to kill Kodeth,
I mean, I do.
We can't get exiled again. We can't keep doing this.
I was trying to walk away.
and then Kodeth yells at you as you're walking away. Just pick a time and a place when I'm not on the clock.
He's human, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
How tall?
He stands about 5'10".
Cool. Is Arjan going to say anything to him?
No, Arjan turned away, walked away.
Gwen's going to, like, as she's, like, backing up, kind of size him up. All right, about 6 foot. Gotta make sure her coffin's going to look nice. Have a great night, guys. Spin around.
Takes that dramatic sidestep, follows them, comes back into frame, puts a hand on Cori's shoulder, and slowly drags her away.
She's just glaring, shaking her head. She gets dragged away.
As we're walking, I think Gwen's just gonna like catch up to Arjan, kind of look up at him and be like, I cannot wait for you to kill him.
He doesn't say anything.
She looks back at her other friends and gives the grim, like,
Wizardly snake bully he is.
Oh, that's why he's gonna die quickly, Cori.
You just hear just a little like splash of like water dripping on the floor. Arshad's fist is clenched so tight, and his claws are out.
Cori's gonna put a hand out and like over his claws and just kind of show that she's here to support him. So maybe a little lay on hands for that there.
It not to do damage.
He took a point of narrative damage. It's okay.
It'll never heal.
Well, like it would be similar to what he does his
Chalice.
Which I have a 2 on my blood die, by the way.
Not alone here, Arjan. And he'll get what's coming to him eventually.
Oh, for sure.
Right after this, where are we
This
going?
way, follow me. Gwen starts walking.
That second entrance that you guys had found prior has now been covered by drow figures who are trying to keep other people out of this area. So you are going to have to do some exploring to try and find a potential third way into this Fire Giant Stronghold. You have a rough idea of the space that it actually is occupying, but now it is just a matter of trying to find your way in. As you know that this front area is now covered.
All right. I guess we can try going back through the tunnels, seeing if it opens up again somewhere where it's less guarded or not guarded at all.
Do you guys know how to make someone invisible? All of the casters look at their sheet.
No.
I know for certain that I do not.
That is not the spell that I took.
I can get at least myself and someone else in. But then everyone else will have to find a way.
Well, Cori can do that too, right? You brought me through hell twice, dude.
I could do it again.
I mean, I'm not, if we can find something else, I'm okay with that, but I'm not okay with that at the same time.
You
We all
are going
understand?
to need to not scream if you're going through Pink Hell again.
Yeah. Well, maybe I could do the thing with Caelum. Sorry, I just went through all of the names of all of the characters before I got there.
It might not be any better, but we'll see.
It looked like a fucking rom-com. Sorry.
Can Caelum take people with him now?
Dimension Door.
Oh. Okay. We would still.
If you want me to blow 3
This is-
4-level slots, I can take
This is the
everyone
fox,
in.
the chicken, and the seed all over again. We would still wind up with one person left over. If I could face step somebody else up there,
No.
and then you dimension door yourself and someone else, then we'd
I mean,
still be
we
stuck
have
with someone.
we have climbing gear. If just somebody can get up there,
Aren't there 4 of us?
they can help everybody else get
There
up.
is also a dog. Right. We'll see.
Caelum, you bring Cyber up. Lower the climbing gear for the rest of us.
And then we try it sneakily.
I'll be good at that.
All right, so I need all of you to
Dog
make
has them.
survival checks.
$13.
8.
18.
15.
So Cori and Gwen are the two of you are the ones that are actually able to find what looks like a tunnel that, or at least a break in the cave wall that is about 35 feet up on one of the walls in a more open cavern along this road. As you had been walking back towards Surt's Hellier. You knew that it was a several-day journey to actually get down here, but for the most part, the road itself is more just like an expanse of flat stone. There is dwarven architecture there, but because of how active the seismic area is, you know that there are openings and other things like that. So as you go, you end up spotting what looks like on top of one of these archways inside of the cavern to make it look more hospitable, that there looks like a ledge that has one of these open crags in it that, again, rests about 35 feet up.
There.
All right. Caelum will take the climbing gear, take a knee next to Cybra, start petting her. All right, might be a little scary, so handkerchief over the eyes.
And she is pulling back with her head as you're trying to do so. Make an animal handling check.
8.
As you go to put the blindfold over, she just sort of ducks under.
Okay, come on.
Puts her head up, and you manage to put on a very tasteful neckerchief.
All right, whatever. And he is going to put his arm around her and close his eyes, focus on the point 45 feet up, and he'll slowly sink into the ground in a pool of shadow before reappearing on the other side.
Cybra is panting heavily. Her eyes are very wide. She does not know what has fucking happened.
Just gonna turn to Cybra. Shh. As he lowers the rope.
Her ears shoot to the back of her head, and she just sinks down onto the ground.
Aw. The babu.
Good girl.
All right. Cori, you first.
She's gonna go for it.
Wait, no, Cori should be last. We tie the rope around her waist and then haul her up.
Cori, you go last. Arshan, you first.
Whatever you say.
Natural 20.
Get down. Have you done your blood dye for today?
Yes,
Yeah.
he has a
It's a
2.
2.
He doesn't even use the rope.
Arjan, this is you don't even need to use the rope if you don't want to. You can just sink your draconic claws into the cave wall.
I just feel like he anger climbs up. Like he has a focus that you see from him often, but there's something deeper going on there.
Got a 21
Okay.
to climb. Climb next.
Yep. Gwen, you are able to easily climb. If anything, like, climbing is just pulling, but pulling yourself up, and you're really good at that.
Very small. All right. Cori,
Has a
tie it
rope
on your
around her.
waist.
It's very hard to tie a knot with only one arm.
I feel like you didn't think this through.
Cori,
Just hold on.
make a dexterity check with disadvantage.
Oh no.
Just like wrap the rope around you and hold on.
Just a flat dex check.
Yep.
Not bad. 15.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't really like tie a knot, but it is very much like you coil the rope around your arm several times and just use the tension that it'll put on you as an anchor point.
And then just like put your feet on the wall and we're gonna pull you up.
Yep.
So just like walk up the wall.
Yep. She does that.
Okay.
So the rest of us are gonna pull.
The old Batman thing where she's
Should I roll at advantage?
going directly up a wall.
No, you guys don't even need to roll for this because Gwen is so fucking strong because of the runt axe. Yeah. Doesn't even matter. You're just able to it's a one woman show. Just easily able to lift this up.
And elves have hollow bones anyway, so all you gotta do is lift some plate mail.
Okay. So yes. You all managed to get up on this ledge, and then you spot the crag that you had seen as your entryway before. And looking in, you know that it is going to be a tight squeeze for Arjan, but the majority of you will be able to quite easily make your way through this. Cybra looks like she will fit walking forward, but there might be some spots where she'll have to like get low or hop a little bit. But you guys are able to begin entering into this area. I would like for you all to make stealth checks as you do.
10.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit, I'm wearing plate.
15.
That's fine.
Go ahead,
19.
4.
Okay. So Cori, as you are making your way through this opening, your armor is scraping up against it. Like, part of you is really just a little disheartened about this. You just got this armor and already you're putting scratches and scuffs into it, but so is the nature of bodily protection. And you all begin to make your way in. And there is a point where the rock walls on either side begin to get closer and closer against each other until you feel stone and stone pressing up against you. But it's almost a little wet, it feels like. And as you're going through, it's making almost like a squelching noise. Like the wall here is a bit slimy for some reason.
I don't know if this is metagaming, but are we sure this is a wall?
Putting my hand on it, and I'm like, Arjan, does this remind you of the mean lock?
Does it remind me of the mean lock or any other thing that might have Bloodhunter bullshit?
The mean lock, was more of like a soapy texture.
Mm-hmm.
This definitely feels more like when Cybra gets panting really heavily, just sort of like a thick slobber. But it doesn't have the same smell as being inside the maw of a large creature would have. Gwen, you recently had an experience where you got ate, and thankfully this does not smell like that inside of Gullet.
Is this it's not like just like a condensation on the wall. It's like a full on
it's like a
layer of
film.
slime.
Yeah.
Like she puts her hand on it and does it pull away?
A little bit.
Like a little string.
Yeah.
Like some mucus.
If I look up,
With your dark vision, you see the stone meet at a point above you. There are no teeth. There are no creatures drooling hungrily above ye.
what kind of knowledge check would this be? Like, just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I'd very much like to know if this residue reminds me of anything.
This would be a nature check.
Gwen is doing this with her hands and like pulling the strings away and then pushing her hands together and doing that.
Gross.
14.
Samesies, 14.
Okay,
Same seat.
14. Did anybody else roll nature checks? Okay, cool.
Cori reaches down, wipes off her hand on Gwen's armor.
So the two of you recognize this. It's like if there was a how moss will grow on rocks underwater and kind of have that more like greenish film that then begins to create a layer over. That's like how this is in the tunnel, but there's no water present. It just seems like it has that very slippery texture to it, but there's no hint that water has ever come through here.
Don't like that at all.
On.
Okay. And as you continue onward, eventually this break in the rock face leads you to what looks like a hallway, but it's more of a long corridor, but it doesn't have the same kind of geometry that a regular corridor or walkway would have, being in more of a squarish shape. This is almost spherical in its way, and looking left and right, you can see that it extends at these very odd angles, moving in one direction, and looking back, you can see that they extend for a while and then they come from the ceiling. And it looks like it is just this very odd, naturally formed hole.
Are we still going the way towards the stronghold?
Are we?
Gwen, make a nature check.
Cool.
Or
Not
survival.
survive.
Yes.
Okay. It's probably the same. I think it's plus 4. Okay, 16.
Okay, so a 16, Gwen, you have been doing well enough to lead your party where you feel like they've needed to go underground. Surprisingly, you have had like the best mental direction while being here, and you know that if you started going down the more wobbly looking cave, that if you headed that direction, that would eventually lead you close to where the Fire Giant Stronghold would be.
Gwen spends most of her life like in a crowd. She feels like she's underground, so like it makes sense. It's just because she can't see over people. It makes sense. Hey, if we go down like the squiggly one, we'll be able to. That's the direction we want to go.
Right.
Yes.
No, I'm just. These tunnels are. There's no. Sorry, I'm just thinking now because these tunnels don't look like water erosion.
It's like slime.
Can I make
Cyber is
a?
like licking her paw.
Oh, don't do
Oh,
that.
don't do that. Oh, no.
Don't put that in your mouth.
Can I make a? Would it be meta?
I was gonna move forward.
I mean, we've already made our check.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, maybe some sort of burrowing creature that we need to keep an eye out for.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine. So you guys are making your way through this tunnel. And as you are continuing on, it just still feels icky. going through here until eventually, after what feels like about a mile of travel through this underground way, you eventually see light. And it is this very auburn, reddish yellow color. And as you reach the end of this tunnel, looking out, you see a river of pure magma that seems to be flowing through the base of this large cavern. And as you look around, you see that it is illuminating the entire area, and that there are areas as well that look like they have sconces that are lit. And as you are looking around, it still looks as though there is some sort of life to this city, this stronghold. But you don't see any people. You don't see any figures moving about. It seems eerily quiet for how well lit this area is. And looking around, you can see that against the that looking out to your left in the far back of the corner, the direction which, Gwen, you know is north, not because of a keen mind feat, but because you've rolled really well in survival during this time. You can see that there is a archway that looks like it has large, intricately carved glyphs along the side of it that are illegible from this distance. And inside of this archway is just a solid sheet of stone that looks like it is carved to just have a straight sheer wall upon it. There are giant-sized steps that all lead up to this archway, and you see that the river is separating it from the rest of these buildings. And to the west of where this archway is, you can see that there has been some diverting of this magma river to actually go underneath what looks to be a massive foundry. This building in its construction is something that reminds you of the dwarven cities in their design. They are very angular, but they have this look about them that expresses a care and dedication to its craft that you all have not seen in most anything before. Every once in a while, you'll see a musical instrument that shares this quality. You'll see a piece of artwork, a pie, a freshly baked loaf of bread that seems to exude this aura of care to it. But all of that seems to pale in comparison to just looking at these buildings. And as you look down, you can see that there is this bright silver and gold that has been interwoven into the sides of these buildings to just help them be even more decorative and ostentatious than anything underground has a right to be. You see that to the south, there is a large field that has incredibly large mushrooms that seem to be growing from almost dried soil at this point, but these mushrooms persist. And around, you can see that there are 8 houses, or at least house-like structures across what appears to be a main road that are sized for creatures that, Gwen, you would recognize as giants. That seems like the appropriate size that one would live in. And then you see that there are much smaller areas. They are homes, but from a distance they look more like homes stacked on top of each other. This is like a living complex. But again, this complex has been made in such a way that you know that whoever made it cared for the things living inside of it, at least by some extent. And this opening that you have found yourself in, looking out onto the way, is about 40 feet off of the ground, and it is towards where the mushroom fields actually are.
Gwen leans over to whoever's the closest to her, just says, "Why are we down here again?"
Get rid of anything that's made a home here, I think. Do you know is that right?
You were just told to explore, and if there were any nasties, clear them out. Because your main objective was to secure the natural resources that were here.
Secure the stronghold.
Yeah.
Anything antagonistic, we eliminate.
With the drow count, because
You know, I thought they did, but apparently if we want to prevent a war or prevent starting a war, we're not supposed to kill them.
Right.
there.
What if there are fire giants down here
Then we kill them.
in their house?
That's what we were told to do.
Okay. Well, this is one hell of a step.
Are there still fire giants?
Dragons and
might be.
giants. Oh,
I mean, there are air giants. I know that for a fact.
On the plane?
Mm,
Indoor, are there giants on
There
the plane?
are, as far as you are aware, historically, for the last 1,500 years or so, there have nay been dragons or giants left on the continent except for one. The one that stayed behind.
one
Which
dragon.
one's that?
Arathsk.
I know.
Okay.
So, how do we want to get into the city?
Well, not in the lava.
How far is it from where we're standing?
It's a 40-foot drop, and you would find yourself towards the mushroom fields. And the mushroom fields are about a 10-minute walk to the main road. It looks like, all things considered, it is about a 45-minute travel from one end of the compound to the next.
Can we like drive a spike here, leave a rope going down?
Yeah. Totally.
Taller there.
I mean, if you want to be a little less conspicuous, I could just cast fly on everyone.
I'm worried about using all of your
Magic.
meta. Don't use all your spell slots in case you have to fight something.
Yeah, I know. It was just like,
Nah,
there to
man.
be- They're there for you too.
no, man.
Use
Here we
those
go.
spell slots for narrative reasons.
I could always give the compound a flyby, too.
Why don't we just I'll lower you guys down, and then myself, and then we'll go for
Walkie walk.
God,
God.
Caelum.
Caelum.
What?
Cybra
Just-
is so happy that you have said walk.
Oh,
Fuck.
No.
Tails wagging.
Well, now we have to. Thanks, Caelum.
I mean, that's what we're gonna do anyway.
Will Cybra let me tie a rope around her?
Cyber will let you tie a rope around her, yes.
Cool. Who wants to go down with her?
Sure.
All right. I'll lower them down.
Okay. And again, Gwen, these athletics checks don't mean anything for you. You are a head member of the Stompfoot Goreblast Gymnasium. Of course you can lower these friends. And so it takes some time, roughly about 10 minutes or so, all things considered, to lower people, untie, bring them back up. But eventually you are all able to get to the bottom of this cavern, to the stronghold floor. And you can leave your rope attached if you would like. Otherwise, you'll have to make Gwen, you will have to make an athletics check to descend.
I'll leave it tied.
Okay.
Cori, how's your necklace doing?
Out and see which way the Corvid skull points.
It faces towards you, the same direction that it has been facing since you've started leaving Sirt's Hellier. It seems to always be pointing back to the city.
Okay. I sort of thought it would be down here.
That's all right. We'll figure out a way to
Down
get into
here.
the fire.
But sooner
That'd
or
be-
later, we're gonna have to deal with that jacuzzi.
What's a jacuzzi?
It's like a hot spring.
That's too hot to be a hot spring.
Father dabbled in plumbing.
All right, so
What are these mushrooms? Tell me
uh,
about these mushrooms.
so
Are they-
make a
how big
nature
are
check.
Nature check.
Yeah.
How big are they? How soft are they?
Ooh.
Do they
Which-
glow?
They
What
do
color?
have a luminescent glow to them. They seem to be the same kind of mushrooms that the dwarves of Sirt's Hellier eat, but these look like they have not been harvested in a long while. You have seen
Oh,
trees
overgrown.
that are shorter than the height of these mushrooms, and you can see that there are other smaller mushrooms that seem to be growing as well. They are, and you can see that their roots that actually kind of go into the ground spread out, and each of these mushrooms is actually connected. They all seem to be part of one mega shroom, as it were. Looking at it, you can see that they have a light blue cap to them that is more of an umbrella cap rather than a kind of pointed cap, and they have what look like almost large blue or large light blotches along the top of them. It seems like they are almost a comforting color rather than what you realize is an otherwise aggressive mushroom. The lot of you have been adventuring / have existed in the Feywild long enough to know a bad shroom when you see it, and thankfully, that is not these.
Cori puts a hand on it, and she's in her spring form, so she feels at peace with nature. And she just kind of puts a hand on it and communes a little.
Gwen takes a bite out of one.
Gwen.
It's the circle of life.
It has the same kind of chewy texture that a mushroom normally has, and also has a rather pleasant taste to it. It seems like even unseasoned, these make for good eating.
God damn, I'll have to grab some of this on the way out.
Well, I mean, I feel like this is one of the resources that we are supposed to secure.
In my bag.
My belly.
I don't know if we can hold all that.
Well, I mean,
Like,
even
it's a pretty dang big mushroom, right?
This is
There's a lot.
This mushroom field is about 2 acres in size. This is a rather large mushroom field. It seems like this was perhaps the main source of food for the stronghold back when it was still in its prime. I would like for all of you to make perception checks.
Ruh-roh. That's not good. I don't like that.
It's always good.
You're in a new area. Gwen just ate some mushroom.
19.
16.
12.
10.
So Gwen, you are busy nomming on some mushroom. And Cori, as you are you're looking at Gwen and you want to reprimand her for eating the mushrooms, but at the same time, I mean, you're feeling really one with nature right now. And there's nothing wrong with eating vegetables. Like, if anything, this is the first vegetable that you have seen Gwen willingly eat in quite a while. So, you kind of went out there.
It's the circle of life. That's just the way things are.
But they're just as you're looking at Gwen, there is something that catches your eye that just seems so juxtaposed in comparison. And you look and with your perception check, you see that there is what looks like a small iron statue of avant-garde design that is resting inside of this field. And you can see that there are several others as well. And on one side, it looks like almost to a mirror sheen, this bald face. And then on the other side, it looks like there are these jagged edges that seem to be jutting out from it. And you notice that the other statues as well that you are noticing within this mushroom field are also of a similar make and design.
I approach it.
Okay.
Divine sense.
You get nothing.
All right.
Arjan and Caelum. The two of you end up seeing Gwen taking bites out of this mushroom, and you begin looking around as well. Cybra is sniffing these mushrooms and doesn't know if these are food or not. And Caelum, what you end up hearing is the sound of, off in the distance, of stone being worked on. And based off of the location that you are in, you know that it is coming from the south end of this stronghold. And you can see that the road that actually goes through this main stretch of town leads to what looks like a large iron door that is sized for small folk, of all things, against a back wall. And you can hear the sound of rock being chipped away from the outside of that door. Make an insight check.
21.
Okay, so with the 21, you are guessing, as you had seen Kodeth and his group approach you, that there were other members of their drow exploration party that had stayed in the back, and you had seen them with pickaxes and shovels and other materials that looked like they were meant for breaking away stone. It seems like they have not been able to get into this stronghold yet, but they are currently working their way through the stones that have blocked the entrance.
He's gonna turn to Arjan, put a finger to his ear, and then point 2 fingers towards the door to signal like there's people on the other side of that.
I thought this is okay. Like I hear people over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't hear like people, but you hear the sound of like activity from people on the other side of said door. And Arjan, with your perception, as you take note of the sound and start looking around, you can see that Cori is investigating these statues, and you've also noticed these as well. And you notice that a few of these statues are laying on their sides, that they have been broken. And as you look at these broken ones, you start taking note of markings that are on the sides of some of these mushrooms as well, and they look like claw marks of some sort.
I have a question, Endor.
Sure.
Do these statues look scared?
These statues don't have any features to them.
Okay. All right. Just check.
So there are claw marks on the statues and on the mushrooms.
On the broken ones, you can see that these statues are heavy enough in a metallic form that it would take somebody like Gwen to be able to even push it over, let alone break one. And it seems like as you're kind of looking at it, that the breaking marks look like they are matching up with some of the other markings that you're spotting on these tree-sized mushrooms.
All right. I mean, reason to believe that there is a big thing with claws. Got it.
Yep.
have you guys told Gwen that there is sound coming from the other area?
Nope.
Not yet.
Gwen has chopped up with her axe. She's like chopped cubes, and she's like put she's wrapped some in cloth and just put it in her bag. And she walks up to the group. All right, where do we go now?
I think we need to go. We need to find a way into the stronghold before everybody else does.
Yeah.
Oh, they're like way out there. We're already in,
So-
right?
No, that they are.
No, they're right here.
They are
So,
right there.
you guys are inside of the stronghold. There is a door that leads to the roadway that stretches between Sirt's Hellier and Tev Elyon. That is the door that has been uncovered. That is the door that they are currently trying to get in. However, you guys are now currently within the stronghold proper.
Right. Oh, they're trying to get in there?
Yeah, people are trying to get in towards where you already are.
Yeah.
In character.
Do we need to be like a Scooby-Doo villain here and like scare these people off?
Let's just fucking close the. Let's put a fucking huge rock in front of it. Is
That's
there a
already-
huge rock?
There are many huge rocks underground.
Gwen would like to try and block the door from this side.
Okay. So yeah, you guys make your way through these mushroom fields, and Gwen, along the way, make a survival check.
22.
You find a real fucking big rock, and lift it over your head in a heroic fashion, and then just set it in front of the door, and there is a rather loud thudding noise as this rock is put there, and you hear muffled sounds of confusion coming from the other side of the door. And you recognize the voices as Kodeth and his cronies, seemingly confused. And then one person says, "Is there anyone in there?"
Are there any rocks? Like, can I cause a cave-in somehow?
You have the Sun Forger, and you are within a cavern. So should you decide to cause a cave-in at this doorway, you are more than welcome to.
All right, Gwen turns around, starts walking away. When she's like 30 feet away, she pulls out the Sun Forger and gives everyone a hand, like stand back, flips it Thor style, and then she whispers under her breath, "Suck a dick." She throws it, but she doesn't want to if it's big enough, I'd like to you have it off to the side so it's not gonna cause any damage to the door. Just cave in.
No, just
above
blast
it.
above it. Yeah, for sure.
Solid.
Uh,
Would you like me to roll damage?
It's fine. To be fair, you can roll damage if you want. It is a
cool.
fireball's
I don't
worth of
have-
damage.
I know. I do want to roll it. 'Cause I
Go
love
for it.
some dice. Thanks, D and Daddy.
Wink. Don't call me that, please.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't the most clever thing I've ever said.
Best reaction. Wink. Don't call me that.
14. Or I'm sorry, 24 damage.
Okay. So, there is, you hear over, barely audible with the sounds of tumbling rock, this exasperated sound of the individuals coming from the other side of this wall. And as the rocks finish falling, there is silence, and then you hear a very smoky fuck come through the other side of the door, as it seems like they are aware that this cave-in has happened.
Gwen will summon back the Sun Forger, put it on her waist, walk backwards, given the double bird, and then run into Arjan. Oh, sorry. Was that okay?
That was fine. That was great.
Solid.
What? Do we get the sense that this mushroom field was the natural resource that we were supposed to get, or are there other parts of this stronghold that we should
Well,
probably look into?
there's also the Titan steel we have to look for.
Right.
Okay.
And the other thing that is nagging at you, Caelum, more so than anyone else in your party, this stronghold, as you were described it, this is pre-sundering.
But it's maintained. Sorry.
No, that's totally fine. But you know that there might be some knowledge or some other thing here that has legitimately been lost to history itself.
Do we see any way to get further in?
Yeah, there is a central road inside of this stronghold that leads to the north, and then you see that there is a bridge that expands over the river of magma towards the back. And as you make your way down this city, you see that the sconces that are still burning, as you get near them, you realize that they aren't producing any heat. It seems like these were created with it using the same methods as an ever-burning torch, and they've just been going. And as you continue on, you see that on your right-hand side, there are the buildings are still sized in the same way that a giant's home would be sized, but the door is sized for smaller folk. It seems like it is actually meant for figures of more your size than anything else. And kind of taking a peek in, as these had at one point very nice windows that seem to have been busted in from some unknown force, that there are counters, there are workstations, there are areas inside of the homes along the right that signified that creatures of your size once lived here as well. And to your left, you see that there are a total of 8 of these rather large houses, and these ones are sized for giantkin, and with matching doors as well.
Caelum's gonna enter one of the R-sized houses and look around. Is there like, I don't want to say like evidence that people lived here, because like, yeah, obviously, but like personal effects, like written works?
Yeah. Make an investigation check. And are the rest of you following Caelum inside of this house?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll keep an eye out in the doorway.
16.
Okay. So with a 16, as you are looking around, you end up finding a journal of one of the inhabitants here, and the language is common, but it is old. It is very old. They're using letters in places that you wouldn't normally assume there to be. It seems like they are using also outdated language. But make a history check as well.
24.
Okay, so with a 24, thankfully, your understanding of language, as well as languages that are quite forgotten at this point, has allowed you to kind of parse this out. And you see that the journal is marked 18 Neldawan. Never did I think I would see the day that a dragon like Kalrax Lyn the Gold would ever enter into our halls as a guest. He and Lord Dregbor have claimed that they are mortal enemies for years. So what changed? And then the next several journal entries are about very menial things. It seems like this was almost a side note.
So, long ago, a dragon was invited in here.
What color?
Gold.
That's bad. That's bad.
That's weird. Giants and dragons are enemies.
Right.
I'll tell Arjan the name of the gold dragon. I missed it.
Kalraxlin.
Does it have any meaning?
This name does not hold any real meaning to you.
Okay.
Most of the dragons that you would know the names of specifically would be ones that were paid honor to in the gardens of Arathsk, and most of those were ones that you're actually fairly certain Tarlean had murderized during his stint as the Obsidian Tyrant in the Warring Kingdoms. But the other thing that is becoming more apparent as well are these statues that you continue to see throughout, and they all have the same shaping and styling. Some are taller than others. Others look more like they are lying upon the ground with this kind of glass shape, or not glass shape, sorry. But with this very smooth texture on one side and then extending jagged out towards the back. Cori and Gwen and Arjan make insight or perception checks.
23.
19.
And that was
6.
23 insight.
Okay.
Perception.
Gwen, you're too busy looking for things that are moving to be concerned with things that aren't moving. God damn, why is this place so dead? It's been abandoned for over 1,000 years, but still, come on, you're bored now. And Arjan, you and Cori, because Cori, did you get a perception check?
Yes.
So Cori, you see that there are more of these figures or more of these statues, and you see them in the homes that you're currently looking in. You see them out on the streets. You see them just sort of everywhere, and they just seem present.
Are they all like the same kind, or are
they are all
different?
the same kind. They are all the same make, and they are all of the same style. And Arjan, with your insight, you realize that they're all pointing the same direction.
Ooh.
Where the smooth side is all pointing in one direction.
Oh my.
Is it all in a cardinal direction, or are they like pointing to an epicenter?
They seem like they are pointing to an epicenter.
Where's that epicenter?
With your insight and from what you've seen of the stronghold so far, that epicenter looks like that large, like the massive frame that was built into the side wall of this stronghold that you had seen earlier, that had the sheer rock face within it. And looking at that rock face and looking at the statues, they seem to be made of the same material. Caelum, make another investigation check.
13 plus 2, 15.
So Caelum, going into another home and looking for more information that you can gather, you find another entry. This one doesn't have a date to it. It seemed like whoever was writing this journal was just more putting down jaunts and thoughts, but this is one of the... This is towards the second half of their overall entries. And you read, Lord Dregbor has informed us that we are to follow the orders of the Golden Beast. I overheard my house lord telling his love that they have to work together with this creature to fix something called the Bad Greeting. I'm not sure what this means, but it must be important if these two are working together.
He's gonna poke his head out the door and like look towards where everyone else is. The gold dragon was here to fix something called the Bad Greeting.
Bad greeting.
Can I make a history check?
Sure.
Going up with the Goliaths? That's a -1, so 4.
You didn't pay attention in school?
Fair enough. You're right. You're right.
Oh, what
Sounds made up.
I could ask Chua really quick if she knows anything.
Wait, how can you... Oh, right, your thing. Sorry. I mean, I could do it later.
True. All right.
So, like, what? Like, do we have any idea? Like, a bad greeting with whom?
Maybe
I want to keep looking around.
maybe
Has anyone-
there's sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just asking if anyone's seen anything hinky around here.
Hinky?
Like, weird.
Oh, I mean, all these statues. I mean, they
Everything's
seem
weird.
The what? Oh, these
the-
pillars? Oh, they're people.
well. I don't know if they're people, but that there's a pattern. The smooth sides all seem to be coming out from, and he's gonna go toward the like where the rock face is.
These weren't, like, are they in a place where they're, like, this is where a statue would be, or are they in the middle of the road?
They are in the middle of the road, the middle of the room, the middle of a
Right.
room, standing, placed behind counters, that sort of thing.
That's a weird place
Okay.
for a statue, right?
Okay, yeah, they're probably people.
What can make people into this?
Cori, what was that?
What are they all pointing at, I wonder?
I mean, they're all. I feel like whatever this bad grading is, it's whatever caused that, and that.
I was about to say maybe we can try one of the giant homes, see if they have some sort of record of whatever it is there.
Well,
Yeah.
what could make stone smooth? Heat, right? There was a dragon here. Maybe a dragon blew fire this way, and that's why that side's all.
All of them at once?
I mean, maybe it's a really big dragon. I don't know. They're all fire giants, right?
Right, but fire giants and heat.
Right, but these aren't giants. These are normal people.
Oh,
I mean, like humans and stuff. Not normal. You
Have
know
we
what I mean.
have we seen any giant-sized statues?
You have not.
What if they all the what? Okay, roll with me here. What if all of the fire giants and the dragon got really pissed off at like the humanoids, so they decided to like destroy all of them, like lure them into the city for something, and then they like froze all of them in stone, and then we'll have to wait 3,000 years for one really smart guy who was calculating pi to come out and say everything.
That seems like
Then
a
just
really bad
abandon
plot
this-
for a play.
And then just abandon this city?
well, for one, all of the humanoids were basically their servants, from what I'm reading.
There's
Oh,
valuable resources here. Why would you destroy all of your servants and then abandon your home?
maybe it was a prophecy.
All good prophecies rhyme.
It might have been an accident.
A misfire of whatever this is.
We need to see what's at the center of all of this.
So we're gonna look around some more. Probably go into one of the more
Giant
giant-looking
Okay.
places.
And when you get near one of the large giant houses, on their door has a smaller door that is built into the base that looks like it is meant for allowing small folk in. And so you end up making your way into this giant's home, and you can see that it looks empty. It looks like giants had lived here, but any valuables that there were are gone. Anything that seems like it could have been anything that looks like it could have been easily taken has been removed. There are large bowls. There are musical instruments, the likes of which you have never seen, that are sized for creatures much, much taller than you, that seem to just be resting around. But it seems like there is, or looking around, you see that there is what looked like a almost coat closet, but all of the clothing has been removed. There doesn't seem to be any food stores in this area. And as you continue to look around, Caelum, you find yet another journal that is near one of these statues.
All out up in here.
Bring up my Pip-Boy, plug in the thing,
Okay.
start to read.
And what you get is that it says 29th Certain, and Caelum, you know that Certain is now Ferma. It seems like as along the years, the names of months have changed, and Certain was the previous name that Ferma had. And it says they are building something. We've gathered materials for weeks now, and for what? A door frame? There isn't anything past the wall besides more rock, maybe some ore. Their stone wizards told them that. So what point does this all have? And then several pages later, you see a longer entry. And it says, I can't believe I'm writing this, but I wish I was the servant of Calrexlin and not a measly house lord. Calrexlin appears to be kind-hearted and spends what free time he has with the ones working on what Lord Dregbor is calling his masterwork. I always thought that the dragons were some kind of destructive force of nature, but when you speak with Calrexlin, you can tell. You just know that there is a kindness in his eyes. Can you believe that? The idea of serving a kind master sounds so wonderful, and I just wish there was some day I could leave this wretched place.
The archway against the wall is a doorway, apparently.
Wait, is that archway still there?
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
that
wait,
the
what?
epicenter?
Yes, it is.
I'm guessing that whatever happened here has something to do with that archway. And they might have opened it, and something bad came out, and might have killed everyone here.
Gwen's gonna try and shove over one of these things.
No.
There is a loud clattering noise as metal hits against stonework. And it's like when you are trying to make food late at night and you don't want anyone to know you're making food, and you drop a pan and it just starts to spin, and how that noise seems to manifest throughout all of existence in that moment. And
Well, good news, they're not ash.
And as that ringing persists, you hear something.
Oh, fuck.
You hear a noise that sounds like a very deep growl. Just
Oh, shit, everyone take position.
coming from out in the street. And that is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who has stuck with us so far. If you didn't know, we're having a giveaway right now where you can win some awesome prizes, such as Descent into Avernus and the dice bundle that came along with it, or Tyranny of Dragons Collector's Edition. It's some pretty sweet stuff. We are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So, don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to bit.ly/indooradventure.redbubble.com and pick yourself up something nice. But we'll see you guys soon. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. And then we've returned. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am fucking on edge. Y'all are being way too normal right now, and I'm scared. That's fine. I guess
We already got you.
I guess.
Yeah, we
this
got
is
you already.
Yeah, no bit today.
Oh,
No,
that's
we
fair.
got you at the beginning.
That's fair.
Do you want us to do a bit?
No, it's fine. Anyways, so you guys have heard a deep growling sound that seems to be coming from the streets. That is growing in its intensity as it seems to be coming near you, or at least following in your direction.
How far away is the doors where the cave-in was?
From where you are, it would be, I want to say, about 200 feet away.
That's only 30 feet. Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, the cave-in happened quite a ways away. You guys have had to kind of make your way into the lower half of the stronghold in order to
Shield.
investigate this.
Spear.
Is there a way that instead of being in the giant room where we knocked over statue, if we can quickly make our way to another room?
Yeah, you guys can totally make your way to another room. If you skedaddle quickly, and as you get into that other room, you hear a banging against the door frame, followed by this very wretched snarling sound. Just as it's followed with just in uneven intervals banging against this door. It doesn't seem to know how to let itself in.
Is there a way I can get to the roof?
You would have to exit out of a window and then climb up the side of the building onto the roof, but there is a way.
Is there a window high enough?
The average window height in these buildings is at about 15 feet up. So you would have to climb a little bit, but you would be able to reach one of the windows.
I just put a hand on Gwen, and I raised Tikan up, and I established the mental link with her. Scout it out, please, and huck her up.
And as you huck her up, she tries to fly and then just clatters to the ground.
But you... Sorry.
And then stands, dusts themselves off, and then just looks at you so confused.
I
got it. Gwen takes it and just
No!
tucks it.
Okay, so Gwen, make a ranged attack roll.
Okay.
To yeet Caelum's familiar through a window.
The natural 20.
So you throw the familiar, and you watch this familiar make the most beautiful, perfect spiral you have ever seen, just sailing through the air. Caelum, you get a little bit nauseous because you have shared your vision with the familiar, and now the world is just going in corkscrew fashion. There is a shattering sound as this small form exits the window. And Caelum, you know that Tikan is injured, and they mentally say to you, I do not like that one.
I'm so sorry.
And then they stand up, and as they are brushing off their legs with these little wooden hands, you see the your vision just kind of shake up and down as the earth trembles beneath your feet. And coming around the corner of this building, you see a right hand, and then a of green skin, and then a figure looks around the corner, and you see a long gnarled nose, this kind of distended jaw that is covered in blisters, black matted hair, and along their neck you can see what looks like another face is growing out of the corner, and they pull themselves forward, and you can see that it is a troll. You recognize a troll body when you see it, but this has malformed heads attached to it, more arms than is necessary. There's even one of its second right arm is actually growing out of near where its stomach is. And you can see that it is covered in scars, and it looks old. This creature looks incredibly old.
I'm going to pocket T-Can.
And then a lot of you can hear a sniffing coming from outside.
Why are we hiding?
Because we don't know what... Well, I know what we're up against, but hold on. He holds back a retch.
What are we up against?
And you feel the ground shake beneath you as this figure walks outside. And the four of you that are inside the building looking up at this window begin to see a figure taking shape in the window. This creature was not just incredibly tall because of Tikan's size. This is a huge troll.
Troll in the dungeon. Thought you ought to know.
Ooh, can we kill it?
You have about 5 seconds before it spots you. What would you like to do?
Spear, shield.
I would like to tiny rage.
Like to light it up my crossbow.
Oh, you want to hold my hand?
Okay.
Divine Sense. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do.
Okay. It is neither Fey, Fiend, or Undead.
Cool, just checking.
Okay. All right, so let us roll some initiatives.
Ooh.
14.
18.
11.
Cori.
19.
Okay.
Can I just say that I've been I took the alert feat. I've been rolling at advantage since level 4, and I am usually left.
You're the best. So, this creature, as you all are getting your weapons ready and getting your stances ready, you see this giant-sized figure loom into the into the window frame and extend a hand under the corner of this window and then peer in to look down at all four of you. And it just makes noise. Normally trolls are capable of speaking in giant, but it seems like this one has forgotten how to talk. It's been secluded for so long. So Cori, you are going to be going first. What would you like to do as this creature looks in and snarls angrily down towards you?
God.
Actually, angrily is the wrong adjective. It's hungrily.
Don't like that. Don't like that. Is it's looking in through the window?
Yes, that Gwen threw Tikan out of.
Okay. I'm gonna drop a moonbeam on him.
Okay.
I raise my sword, and I invoke Illustray, and a pillar of radiant light will appear on top of him, and we can resolve that at the beginning of his turn.
Okay. Well, thankfully, we can resolve that right now because it is the beginning of the troll's turn.
Oh boy, he needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so Constitution saving throw, he gets an 18.
All right, that makes it. I think he takes half this damage. Yeah, half as much on a successful one. So it is going to be 2d10 radiant damage. That'll be 6 radiant damage. Is he a shape changer?
He is not.
Okay, then that's it.
Okay, so the damage burns this creature, and then you watch as those wounds heal over. It seems like its regenerative abilities were able to brush aside what damage that it has taken from said moonbeam, and with a swing of one of its mighty hands, there is a breaking as the wall that is nearish this window actually cracks inward enough for this creature to then kind of claw its way in over the rubble as difficult terrain. And as you have been the first to make some kind of or actually, let me see. So it looks at the group of you, and then it looks towards Arjan, who has your crossbow lit with fire, and it is going to then come towards you, getting within the entirety of your group. So you are all directly on it. I need each of you to make a dexterity save.
Boy.
As its limbs just start flailing around wildly.
+3. Everybody's near me.
14.
Gotta hit him with the dex save.
A filthy, filthy 20.
3.
10.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So Gwen,
How did you get a 3? You get a +3 from me.
Yeah, I have a -1 to my dex save.
Oh. Ooh.
All right, so Gwen, you are going to be
That's how.
taking half damage because, well, I mean, it makes sense. You succeeded. Everyone else did not. So everyone who failed is going to be taking 33 points of slashing damage. Gwen, you are going to be taking half of that. And that is it for its turn.
Half
Ouch.
of that, right? It's bludgeoning damage?
Slashing damage.
Slashing. Okay.
I make my concentration save.
Okay. Yeah, Gwen, you would have had time to rage before combat started. Gotcha. All right, so that is it for its turn. Next up, Caelum.
Gonna use my action to disengage and run as far away from this thing as possible.
And Caelum, as you are running and you look back, this creature's back is towards you, but one of these vestigial heads kind of leans down and you can see a half-formed troll head looking directly at you as you run.
Oh no, don't like that. I just want to double check something real quick if I have any bonus actions. Cast nope. Nope. Oh shit. Find familiar to bring back T-Can is an action or a bonus action? Sorry.
If you,
I think Find Familiar takes 10 minutes.
no,
No, I
It's 10 minutes to
pocketed
make a
her.
new one.
yeah.
It's an action again. Okay. So I will stand and then take a readied stance in case it comes my way.
Okay. Sounds good. So then next up, Arjan.
I would like to. It's within 5 feet of me, right?
That is correct.
I'd like to make it so it's not within 5 feet of me
Okay.
without disengaging.
Gonna Meta Knight your way out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Is it taking a reaction?
I don't think that it. Yeah, it doesn't have an ability that allows it. Because if you just directly pop somewhere, that doesn't provoke.
Well, I'm assuming that I'm.
Because if you if you're standing next to them and then you use Misty Step, it doesn't provoke.
I'm not Misty stepping.
Oh, you're just walking. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely going to provoke an attack of opportunity from this creature. And it is going to try and do a heckin' bite on you. So does a 17 hit?
Does.
Okay. So that is going to then be for 13 points of piercing damage and 5 points of poison damage.
It's fine. It's not fine, but
I'm gonna negate some of that. 8 of that. As Grayskull goes up to save my boy.
Mystic Frenzy. Oh,
Gone forever.
12.
Okay. A 12. 12 does not hit.
What is this? What is this? What is this? Another 12. And 22.
22 totally hits.
10 points of force damage.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Got it. So that was it for your turn, Gwen.
Well, I'm already raging, so I would like to reckless. Gwen's going to try to draw the attention of this. Well, all of the heads. There's 2 heads.
There's a handful. And it
Solid.
seems like only the functioning... So all of the vestigial heads that you see
Yeah.
on this creature look eerily the same.
Gross.
But the center one looks different.
Right. She's gonna say, "Hey, Blinky, why don't you try and hit me?" She's gonna attack it recklessly.
Okay.
Weaving in its legs. Her first 2 hits are going to be plus which one? I'm using the axe. So that's a 23 to hit on the first one, and a 22 to hit on the second one.
They both hit?
Is 12 damage.
Okay.
And then Gwen is going to try to Colossus this bee. She's going to use her movement to like
Scrabble
climb
on
up
him.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
25.
Okay, you scramble on top of this guy, and you are currently doing the Shadow of the Colossus move upon you.
Cute. I only get 2 attacks, right?
That is correct.
3 attacks. Okay. I forget.
That's okay. All right.
And it says right here, attacks per action too.
All right. So next up, Cori.
I'm gonna use my bonus to move the moonbeam. I believe it's bonus. Correct me if I'm wrong, Connor.
To move the moonbeam, yes, I
Master.
believe.
Moonbeam's
Master of the...
bonus.
No, to move the moonbeam, it's
Yeah.
a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will move the moonbeam back on top of the troll, and then I'm gonna lay on hands myself for 30 hit points.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Oh, thank you, Billy. That'll be it.
Okay. Next up is this creature's turn. And it
He needs
is...
to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yes. 21. I'm assuming makes it.
That'll make it, but take half of this. 13.
Okay. So it takes the 13 and goes to a number. And then its regeneration kicks in. As the blast wound that Arjan had left in it begins to close over, and it looks like it's actually closing at an almost accelerated rate compared to other trolls that you have fought before.
What kind of attack did Arjan use on it?
A force attack.
What was that?
Zoom decided that we couldn't hear you for that last bit. What'd you say?
I didn't say anything. I
Okay.
just made faces.
Got it. Okay, so Gwen, its left with its left arm, you hear a cracking sound as it seems to snap its arm back to the point where it has hyperextended its own arm to try and punch you off of it. So it is going to make an attack towards you.
At advantage?
Yes. So that is a 25 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. So that is going to be for a total of 10 points, or no, 16 points of slashing. Sorry. And then Cori, you are going to get bit. Or it is going to try.
It's rolling at disadvantage if it's not attacking me.
Okay. So it got a 14 to hit.
Yep.
And then it is going to use its remaining claws to strike out against you, Gwen.
Solid.
And again, you just hear this horrific cracking noise as it breaks its own arms to then start getting at you onto its back.
God.
25 to hit.
Yeah,
Okay.
but why?
For 20 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
26 to hit.
Yep. Sorry, it gets 4 attacks around.
For 17 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
God, he's a big boy.
And then a 24 hit.
Yep. Wait, how many attacks does this guy get?
5.
5? Wow.
Shit.
It's like fighting a bunch of things except for they're all one.
You're all one guy.
And
Do the compel duel.
you take
I don't have it.
you take 14 points of slashing damage from that attack.
I didn't
Ow, fuck,
prepare
ow,
for today.
ow.
And that is it for its turn. So, next up, Caelum. And you've seen this creature willingly break its own arms to get at Gwen upon its back.
Who's Arjan's after me in initiative?
Yes.
Okay. We'll see. He will reel back his arm in the guiding bolt fashion and launch an attack at the big boy.
Okay.
Casting a third. 14 and dirty 20.
That'll hit. Roll for damage.
Cool. I should know these numbers by now. 19 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
Next attack is at advantage. And I'm going to move closer to Arjan, but keep a little bit of distance between us. And that's it.
Okay. Arjan, it is now your turn.
Bonus action, I would like to invoke Blood Curse of the Marked.
Okay.
Next attack had advantage.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's a 19 hit.
19 does hit.
Okay, that was not a natural 20. Close. No, it's not. For 8 points of piercing damage.
16 points of piercing damage. Oh no, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't do the thing. I didn't do the thing.
Oh.
Okay, I can reroll that one. And 8 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Second attack, not at advantage. 15 plus 20.
Yeah, that'll
30,
hit.
20. For 9 points of piercing damage, 4 points of fire damage. Wait. 9 points of fire damage, not 4.
Hoo-hoo. Okay. Next up is Gwen. And Gwen, this thing's limp arms are slashing out at you. It seems like it still has control over its hands, even with its arms even with its arms being snapped.
When he goes, she's going to attempt to attack it again. Probably aiming for the arms recklessly, like just one of them, man.
Okay.
Focus on one of them. Is +7, so 20, 23 on the first one.
That'll hit.
20, dirty 20 on the second one.
Also hits.
Cute. And that's 9 plus 6 is 15 plus 4 is 19. Did I say 15?
Yes. But you said 15 plus 4.
19.
Okay.
And then she's gonna attempt to I don't know, man, climb up to its shoulder or something.
Okay. Sounds good. Cori. It is your go again, and you are watching this creature fight Gwen upon its back as best it can, for she has made herself the most viable of targets.
Okay. Cori is... The moonbeam is still on it, right?
Yes.
All right. She's just going to leave that there, and she's going to...
Wait, is the moonbeam hitting me too?
The moonbeam would actually be hitting you inside of this
Yeah.
area. So, Gwen, make a Constitution save.
Sorry.
Is a creature. Fuck.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear that the first time. It's not poison, so
You get a +3 for being near me.
22.
You're good, but you're still going to have to take the damage.
Take half.
Take half of 13.
Math.
Radiant damage.
6.
6.
Ow!
Oh, sorry!
It's hot! It's hot! It's hot!
It's so cold it is hot. It's that moonlight. Baby,
Moon
I'm
Bengay.
going to
But
attack.
you can't fight the moon.
Just try and hack at this thing's malformed legs.
Okay.
How's about a 17?
17 hits.
Okay. So that's my first attack. I'm gonna drop a second level smite on this. I have to remember how this works. How do smites work? Oh my gosh. It's 2 for first and 3 for the other one. Okay. So that's gonna be 7 slashing damage and then 12 radiant damage. Here comes attack number 2. It's another 17.
Also hits.
So another second level smite.
Okay. Wait, sorry. How much was the first one? Damage-wise? So 22?
No.
24. Okay. Thank you, LB.
I literally can't keep numbers in
That's
my head.
okay.
As soon as I say them, they're gone. 7 slashing damage on the second one, and then 9 radiant damage.
Okay. So then it is this creature's turn. And it got a 17 on its con save.
Okay, that still saves. He will take half of this. 7 radiant damage.
Okay. Sounds good. And seeing as how, Gwen, you are still on its back and it is just frying in this moonbeam, it is going to try and just wildly swing towards you, but one of these vestigial heads that looked like it had been inanimate just quickly turns and looks at you and locks eyes with you, and as it does, you just hear this and it is going to actually like reach out with its jaw and is going to try and bite towards you. That is a 24 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so something weird is going on with my mouse and it keeps scrolling when I do things. Or not scrolling, but like going back and forth with pages. But that's okay. Because, Gwen, you are going to be taking 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And 7 points of poison.
Okay. Oh, 7 points of poison?
Yes.
Just so used to having everything.
Yep, so the poison hits, and then it is going to claw.
Do I get a con save?
Huh?
Or is
No,
it just...
it's just poison damage.
Okay, it's not ongoing. Okay.
No. And then it is going to make slashes with its claws towards you for... Does an 18 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And that is for 20 points of slashing.
Wow. Gwen's not... I mean, she's not looking great.
A 20 to hit.
Definitely hits.
For 12 points of slashing.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
28 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
For 18
Another-
points of slashing.
Oh, Gwen looks like really bloody. Like holding on. She's swooning.
It has one last of its claws as its fourth attack. Yeah. 26 to hit.
Gwen's going down.
For a total of 15 points.
Gwen went down.
Gwen,
Huh? Oh, do I get an attack?
make another attack.
Just a normal attack?
Add +2. I think it's +2.
S- 18.
18 hits.
Okay. Plus 9 damage on that one.
Okay. And then it is going, as you fall off of it, it is then going to move out of the moonbeam and then place itself between Cori and the rest of the party.
Okay, let me just remind Cori that if I am in the moonbeam at the beginning of my turn, I'll
Yep.
take a
Gotcha.
death.
Don't worry about it. I've got you.
All right,
Arjan coughs out blood.
Arjan, it is your turn. Or, yeah, Caelum, sorry.
Cool. Caelum's going to run forward, bonus action, Blessing of the Raven Queen on top of Gwen.
Okay, you just entered the moonbeam.
It's
All right,
fine.
so make a constitution save, Caelum.
16?
It is, yeah, it's constitution. You got a 2?
16.
16, God.
19 plus 3.
Don't panic me. God,
It's fine.
take half of 18.
Can I get half of that too because I'm in my regalia? It's all
Raven,
damage.
is it all damage or is it just like damage from non-magical sources? What is the wording?
Un momento. Once per long rest as a bonus action, teleport 30 feet. You also gain resistance to all damage types.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
So yeah, you'll take then half of 9.
LB,
5.
did you add +2 to the damage as well? Add +2
I will
to
add
the damage
plus
indoor.
2.
Yeah. Caelum looks down, and for a moment he sees like broken red strings all over Gwen, and he's just going to slam a fist into her
Jeez.
and overcast a cure wounds. She heals 51 points of healing.
The discomfort under your armor persists, Caelum.
Great. Clear.
Okay.
And this thing is away from us now, right?
It is right next to Cori. It is within 10 feet of you.
I'm back in. What did it have? I wouldn't know. I'm gonna back up, so I'm further away from this.
It's going
thing.
to take a swipe at you.
Cool.
And yeah. So that is a 28 to hit.
No.
It's too high.
Yeah. You goddamn high.
For a total of 15 points of slashing damage.
-7. Since I'm up now.
Still resist it too.
Yeah, I'm still up.
Yeah,
Nice.
Grayskull just puts an arm up as Gwen does to block the part of it.
Okay.
Cool beans.
Next up, Arjan.
There's one thing I can know there isn't. Fuck. Okay. Mystic Frenzy.
Okay.
All right. These are all over 20.
Yeah, they all hit then.
12 points of piercing, 6 points of fire, 16 points of force.
Okay.
What does that look like?
This thing is looking messed. He hurting bad.
It's what Arjan's attack?
So whenever Arjan uses a Mystic Frenzy, he's simultaneously firing 2 Eldritch Blasts around a crossbow bolt that is flaming.
Damn, that's so cool.
Okay.
That's it. He's always like taking a step back because he really doesn't want to be in melee range of this thing anymore.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
Sounds good. All right. Gwen, make a Constitution save.
Is this against poison?
No, this is
Oh,
against
no,
Cori's
I'm in
Moonbeam.
fucking...
For the love of God!
12.
You fail! You take
Thanks.
full damage!
Thanks.
Oh, and now I start rolling well. 15.
How many?
15 radiant
Okay.
damage.
Gwen just goes, God fucking damn it, Cori! Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why you took the damage.
Yeah. Gwen would like to rage because she dropped her rage when she went unconscious. Yes.
God.
Yes.
All right. So bonus action rage, and then she's gonna get up and she's gonna twirl her. She's gonna leave the Runtax where it is. She's gonna pull out the Sun Forger and a hand axe, and she is gonna go up to this creature and start hacking.
Don't climb it.
I'm not gonna climb it. And I'm gonna do it recklessly because fuck it.
Okay.
So, God, 8 plus 16 is 24. 26, 20, 24? Whatever, it's over 20.
8 plus 4 is 22.
22.
Or 18 plus 4 is 22.
18 plus, no, 16 plus 8.
Oh. 24.
24.
24. And then dirty 20 on the second one.
Okay, that'll
And then the hand axe is... Right, yep, okay. The hand axe does not hit. Sunforger is a D8. 12 plus 4 is 16 damage.
Okay.
And I would like to action surge, please.
Yes, you can.
All right. So I get a full attack action. So 3 more attacks.
2 more attacks. Because you use your bonus action as an offhand, which is an input.
That's a 16. No, wait. 15 on the first one.
15 still hits.
Oh, cool. And then a 26 on the second.
Also hits.
God, I'm so dumb. Reroll. I keep forgetting I get to reroll. Excuse me, damage. So that's 20 damage total.
Okay. And as you are hacking into this thing that brought you down, you watch as it goes to a knee and then begins falling forward onto you, seemingly having lost consciousness. Gwen and Cori make dexterity throws to get out of the way of this falling giant-sized thing.
+3, Gwen. 21.
Ooh. 19.
You both manage to dodge out of the way as this thing falls down onto the ground.
Cool. I'm going to pick up my run tax and attempt to decapitate it.
Okay.
Which ones?
Yep, so you're walking up, getting ready to cut several heads off of this creature. Cori, are you doing anything?
I'm gonna drop my moonbeam.
Okay, anything else?
Is it still alive?
It appears dead.
I don't like the way you say that. Yeah, no, I let Gwen decapitate it. This thing's a baddie.
Okay. So,
Bless.
as you are getting near it to begin the act of decapitation,
Oh shit.
Gwen, as you are getting near it to begin the act of decapitation, you have all fought trolls before. You know that they are a little bit sturdier than what you give them credit for. And as you are coming over, you actually see it put hands on the ground and then stand back up. And it is going to begin another slew of attacks towards you, Gwen.
Fuck.
Does it count as advantage? I don't know. How does that work if it goes unconscious?
All attacks until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
As a barbarian. So 22 to hit.
Yep.
And that is for 18 points of slashing damage. Then makes a second attack for a 22. And that is 18 points of slashing damage. Third claw, it gets a natural 20. So it is going to be for 27 points of slashing damage. And then it is going to make its fourth claw attack towards you for an 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And that is for
8
21.
Fuck. Gwen goes down again.
It's like the Cyclops all over again.
I know.
And then, Caelum, you are still within 10 feet of it after you had moved out of the way. Or no, you had gone past the 10 feet. So
Right, because it got to swipe off at
it
me.
is going to turn towards you, Cori, and it is going to do a heckin' bite towards you. That is a 29 to hit.
Yeah, I reckon.
Does it still get disadvantage?
No, because you went down.
No, because I am down. Okay.
Yes. I mean, it can attack you if you want it to.
No, it's chill.
Okay. So, Cori, you are going to be taking 8 points of piercing damage and 9 points of poison damage.
Okay.
All right. So, this creature is back up. It is still kicking. Caelum, it is your go. You have watched this creature that you thought was dead just arise yet again and start wailing.
He looks down to Gwen, and I guess his eyes pool black, like when he does his termination ability for cleric, and he's just gonna say, "Arise, Gwen," and you heal 23 points.
How is your res creepier than Arjan's?
My mom's the goddess of dying. And as that's a bonus action, and he looks up at the creature, and with an action, basically he's gonna swap the red threads where Gwen's are broken and its are like sort of frayed, and the next attack it takes is gonna be at vulnerability.
Or it will be vulnerable too.
It'll be vulnerable to the next attack.
Okay.
I'll be vulnerable to the next attack.
Mhm.
Yes. Next up, Arjan.
Whenever you say vulnerable to the next attack, does that take into account attacks that do multiple types of damage?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. All right. But it's only one attack.
It's only one attack.
Okay.
Better make it count.
Mystic Frenzy.
Okay, so Mystic Frenzy is if you
Natural
cast a
20.
spell. Is it cast a spell first, or is it...
It's the arrow shot
Okay.
first.
Got it.
Then it's followed up by 2 Eldritch Blasts.
Nice. So you crit while it was vulnerable. Let's see where this gets you.
Oh. Well, my second dice are 1s. I can reroll one of them, though. That's 6. Okay. 5 plus 3. So 8 points of piercing damage.
Which goes to 16,
11 points of fire damage.
which goes to 22. All right, so Arjan, you have faced trolls before. You know that fire is how you kill a troll. How does it look like when Arjan definitively ends this troll's career?
Okay, so since I didn't use my cantrip, Arjan, he pops off one crossbow bolt, which lands into it and seems to take it down. And then he sort of, he takes his hand off and like twists it a little bit. And you see Sacred Flame start shooting up and just start devouring this mutant troll. Just like tongues of fire just like curling in on themselves until like there's nothing left. Like it just continues eating this troll until there's just nothing left.
Okay.
in all 5 wonderful prismatic colors.
Nice. All right. So you guys are no longer in initiative. You have slain this weird creature. This weird ancient creature.
What the fuck was that? Was that a troll?
Something like that.
Did we kill it?
Yeah.
Good job, guys. We worked really well as a team there.
Cori starts making the rounds. Caelum gets 15 points of lay on hands.
I'm
Gwen's
just gonna take a nap over here.
Gwen's gonna get a cure wounds at first level.
Thanks.
You've got to stay out of the spotlight.
I get hit, so you guys don't get hit.
Give
But
you
that
6
thing hit me a
points.
lot.
I'm not a very good healer.
Guess
How many?
Caelum had. Oh, God.
You get 6 hit points.
6.
As Cori's making the rounds, Caelum is like rubbing his eyes, and like he looks up, squints, blinks.
You alright, buddy? Did I hit you?
Pretty hard.
Aw, buddy.
Did the sounds of that attract anything else? We
You didn't
cannot
say.
hear you.
You don't hear anything else. I was pouring a water bottle and didn't want to give you water pour ASMR. Sorry.
You know we live for that shit.
I know.
Give it to me.
While everybody else is resting, Arjan's gonna be like, I'm gonna take a look around.
I don't go. No, buddy system. Arjan, buddy system.
I'll go with him.
No, Cori, go with him, please.
Are you okay?
Can you just hold me for a second? I know this is weird, but like getting knocked out twice in like 6 seconds. My head feels weird, and my fingers are tingly.
Gwen, as you look around, you realize there's more of your own blood around you than you are used to seeing by any means.
Oops.
Caelum will find a spot on the wall, sit like cross-legged, and pat his lap for Gwen.
Gwen, dog style, like curls up in his lap for a second.
Aww.
This is her safe spot.
Cori goes with Arjan.
Okay. And where are the two of you going?
We haven't checked out the foundry yet, have we?
You have not. So, as you are continuing forward, as you are getting near-ish the bridge, to your right, you notice that there is it's almost like a garden. If instead of having plants or any kind of ostentatious botanical wonder was there, it was just metalwork and metallurgy, and it is beautiful in its creation. All of the metalworks are large, and you can see that there is a metal representation of a golden dragon. And it seems in giant written, and it has a placard that is written in giant. You know that Gwen would be able to read such a placard if she were not defunct at this point in time. And as you are stepping over the bridge, I want both of you to make perception checks.
13.
13, and what'd you get, Cori?
9.
9? Okay.
9.
So, Cori, as you are crossing over this bridge, you are still feeling in sort of like a heightened danger sense mode. And as you're looking around, you see where the lava flows and then goes underneath the bridge. And you're going through the list of things that could possibly come out of lava and just take you and your friends and the whole damn thing and the whole damn place with you. And with it, you kind of start thinking about the raven skull pointing directly into a pool of magma. And it's concerning to say the least. And then you follow the path of the magma underneath the bridge, and you look over and you can see that it was diverted at some point. It seems like the giants needed the magma to actually be somewhere else, so much like when a river needs to be moved as well, they had set up proper measures to actually reform the flow of magma to purposefully go underneath the foundry. And as you're looking where the magma used to be, there is still this large divot, and inside of that divot you see what looks like a large bean that seems to just kind of be moving. Arjan, as you are coming across this bridge, you see the doorway. You see the doorway that had been built by the giants working together with the dragon. And to answer Phoenix Vic's question, Cori, it was a green bean. And Arjan, as you are looking at this large gate, you start looking at the area around, because once you got close to the bridge, there weren't the statues anymore. You stopped seeing them. And as you're looking around, you notice something else. Along the ground and the sides of the walls of the cave, it looks like there are shadows being cast on people that aren't there. And as you look at these shadows, make an insight check.
Nine.
With a 9,
Sorry, 8.
Oh, an 8. With an 8,
That's +6, not +7.
some of these shadows, it must have been like a party or some joyous occasion, because you see quite a bit of them, of these shadows that seem to be just kind of baked into the stonework itself. And you assume that it was some sort of joyous event, because many of them have arms extended upward. Others have arms that look like their hands kind of stop where faces would be. And it seems like whatever people were here were probably having a good time when whatever event happened.
Sounds like they had a great time.
It sounds like it was great.
Everybody put your hands on your head.
You mean to die for?
Mm.
I haven't seen my husband in years.
I guess you could say.
Could have been my husband. He's been dead for years.
And as you are getting close to the foundry, make another perception check. The both of you can.
16.
14.
Okay. So with a 16 and a 14, coming around the front side of this building, looking up at the roof area, just sort of getting a good idea of what this foundry looks like, you can see that there is a hole, a large-sized hole, roughly around the same diameter as the hole that you guys had actually entered into this stronghold from, that is in the top of the foundry. And then as you get to the front door, you can also see that there is, at about halfway up this 25-foot tall door, another one of these large spherical openings.
It looked like it was built that way, or did it just occur?
It definitely doesn't look like it was built that way. It looks like it has been corroded away.
Can we peek in?
You can. And as you peek in, the door feels slimy, sort of like the cave did as you look in, and you don't see much of anything. You can see that there are hallways that extend out and around, but it doesn't seem like there is any life inside of this foundry. Gwen and Caelum, the two of you feel like you're being watched.
We should probably go meet up with the others, yeah?
Yeah, he's gonna pop Tikan out and stand.
And Tikan, like, arms out, and then looks up towards Gwen, and then runs and stands behind Caelum and peers out from behind the leg at you, Gwen.
What's his problem?
Her. She doesn't like you tossing her out windows. He's bending down to pick her up, and you can see he flinches a little bit from, like, pain.
I'm sorry you got hit, bud.
I've taken worse. I died, remember?
Yeah. I try not to think about it. Hey, thanks for giving me a moment. All right, let's go.
No problem.
Just don't tell the general public. I got a reputation to keep up, you know.
Okay.
A negative reputation. Was it infamy?
I'm infamous. Nice.
We'll
Gwen doesn't
head
know
to
what
the
that
forge.
Yes, we will head to the forge.
Okay. And as you are on your way to the foundry and begin exiting out, Arjan, you and Cori looking into the building, you begin to hear something. And Arjan, what languages do you speak?
Common, Draconic, Infernal, and Abyssal.
You start hearing something in a language that you don't understand. It almost sounds like inverse bubbles. And Cori, you don't recognize this language either. But it seems to mimic speech patterns.
Habro. Habro.
And then you hear a noise that sounds like sizzling, and you see a beam of jet black energy rip through the front corridor that is inside of this foundry and blasts almost effortlessly another kind of spherical sized hole in the sidewall of the foundry from where you all came in. And this creature is just, and you just hear this noise that seems to be coming quicker down the hall. It doesn't seem that it's taken note of the two of you.
Cori's eyes are just like saucers. She turns to look at Arjan.
Do I get any insight of what this thing is? Is it Fey Fiend or undead?
It is not Fey Fiend or undead.
Based off of the raid that was sent out, have I read about anything like that?
Make a history check.
18.
It's starting to make sense now. It is shrieking. This thing is shrieking in a language that you can't understand. You came through a perfectly spherical tunnel that didn't look like it was made by any kind of natural formation. The area around you has begun getting slick and slimy. You're fairly certain that this is the work of an aberration, which is why you had to spend so much time reading about them, because your Bloodhunter powers only affect Fey Fiends and undead, but not creatures from the far realms. And as the two of you look, make stealth checks.
Fuck.
15.
$12.
You are muted.
Oh, I thought that my headphones had stopped working. Steven, we can't hear you.
I put myself on mute. It's okay, because apparently something's wrong with my keyboard right now. So it's like it's holding shift or something. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out here in a little bit.
It was so anxiety inducing because nobody else was reacting. I was all like, I'm the only one who can't hear him.
My God. Right, it's going to be easier if I just use a book, I suppose. So, Arjan, what did you get?
18. Or, sorry, for my stealth, it was a 15.
Okay. Cori, what'd you get?
I got a 12.
Okay. So, Arjan, you are able to see this creature, and it does not see you. Cori, you are not as lucky. As you are looking at this hallway, you see what looks like it's like a disembodied head, but the head only has one eye that's visible at first. And you can see that there is one large eye in the center of this head, with a mouth full of hundreds of rows of impossibly sharp teeth. And it is looking around with its one eye frantically. And you see that it has tendrils along the back of its head. And those tendrils are looking in a variety of directions, and you realize that these tendrils are looking. They are stalks. They are stalks for a multitude of eyes that seem to just be growing from this creature.
Do these eyes look like they have beauty in them?
Yes.
No.
I hate
And
you.
How big is it?
it is large. It is roughly around the same size as the tunnel that you came into this area. And it looks at you, and it locks its large singular eye towards you. And then all of the other eyes that were looking around also direct themselves towards you. And it looks at you and just... And Arjan, you are looking at Cori as you see this beam of black energy tear towards her.
Can I pull her out?
You would break your stealth in doing so.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So, Cori, you are going to be making this check with advantage. It is a dexterity save.
Okay. With advantage?
Yes.
$21.
Okay, so a 21. You're only going to be taking half of this, which is good. So that is... for 35 points of force damage.
Am I taking half of that, or is that halved damage?
So it is or take. So you are able to get pulled out of the way in time of this initial beam.
Okay,
And then...
Is the 35 already halved, or am I having
No,
that?
the 35, it is a save for 0, fail, you take full. So thankfully you succeeded on this one.
Oh, okay. Cool. That's great.
I also need you to make a constitution save.
Okay. Not at advantage?
Not at advantage on this one. Or actually, these will be at advantage because Arjan was able to help.
That's good.
I'm helping.
16.
Okay. So a 16, thankfully, was the number that you were looking for. As you feel your muscles begin to tense up, but you manage to shake it off. And finally, that is... I need you to make another dexterity save.
Just Cori.
Just Cori.
23.
Okay. So... thankfully, that also succeeds.
Good.
And this creature begins to angrily float towards you. It can only move at a speed of 20 feet per round. So it's a common. What are the two of you doing?
Running.
Yeah. I'm curious. Yeah, we run. For sure. Running. Running.
Okay. So, Caelum, you and Gwen are in the street. You are making your way towards the foundry. And you start seeing you see a black beam of energy shoot once through, like, creating a hole in a sidewall of the foundry. And then you see another beam shoot out, and from the direction with which that black beam did come, you see Arjan and Cori booking it.
Should we...
We should probably... I'm not healthy enough for this.
What? Gwen does this, waves her arms in the air wildly to, like, indicate where they are, and she's gonna look for a place to hide. That's not a house. Like, that didn't work very well last time.
Okay. So Gwen, make an investigation check.
Okay. It's not bad. Investigation. I'm good at those. So 17 minus 1.
Okay. You manage to find a place whose door is already open. There are no occupants inside, and you and Caelum are quickly able to get in. Cori, you see Gwen is motioning very quickly. Come this way. Arjan, you see it as well, and the two of you continue to run.
I check over my shoulder. Is it, like, has it you said it was moving fairly slowly.
Yes.
So
by the time that you are on top of the bridge, it has then emerged from the foundry.
So it can still see us and definitely hear Cori.
Yes.
Okay.
Especially if you are running atop a bridge which is located above a river of magma, which is the brightest place to be in this whole town.
Right. Yeah, I was just suggesting that we run until we're back with the group.
yeah, we're booking it. We're just gonna keep on going. I'm gonna try and stay as close to Arjan as possible.
The bridge is the only thing. Is it flying?
It is.
Oh, okay, never mind. Does it seem to be hovering?
Yes.
Like moving with the terrain?
It just gently moves over it. You're
Okay.
fairly certain that based off of... or Gwen wouldn't know this, but yes, it
Yeah.
looks like it is relying on terrain beneath it to move.
Okay. Yeah, Gwen wouldn't know that. He's fucking flying.
All right. So
Am I right in assuming that this is an aboleth? Me
no.
personally?
No.
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 What is it?
This is not a fish.
This is not a fish.
This is a
This-
beholder.
It's a beholder.
Oh no! I missed that part. I just heard a bunch of teeth and eyes, and I was like, yeah,
As
aboleth.
No,
as,
this is not a kissable psychic fish. I mean,
as
what?
it slides around the corner and can see us again, I'm gonna reach over and grab Arjan, and I'm going to say, "Run, just keep going," and I'm going to face step him ahead of me.
Oh, you bitch.
Eh,
Okay.
I mean, it can only work if you're willing. So
Okay.
Do you use it if it's not willing?
yes,
All right.
All right. So
I get yeeted, and once I do, I'm gonna take position and start firing. Cause no, fuck that.
all right. So Cori, make a Constitution save.
22.
22. All right. So
These don't count as spells, do they?
they do not.
Cool.
So you're going to be taking half of this. So that is 18 points of, 18. $32 points of necrotic damage.
Am I having that? Or is that already halved?
That
was
is
this just a save
that
or
is
die
before the
thing?
halve. That is
I'm
before
sorry?
the half. That is before it is halved.
Okay.
Yeah, so you would take 16 points of necrotic damage.
Cool. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
And then the second beam does nothing because you are considered undead. And then the third beam.
I will say that second beam hits me and it drops me to my raven form.
Okay. And then I need you to make another dexterity save.
$17.
Okay. You saved. That is fine. All
I'm
right.
gonna turn to Gwen. I'm gonna need to do something stupid.
What the fuck is that? Ah!
How far away is it from us?
From where Gwen and Caelum are, it is currently about, I want to say 300 feet. Because you guys were back farther in town.
We're in a are we in an alley or are we in a?
You had moved yourself into an alleyway.
He's going to cast Fly on himself, take a knee, and just go 60 feet straight up.
I don't know if this is better or worse. Cori, get over here! Get over here, Cori!
Cori's just sprinting, screaming at Arjan to keep running.
Caelum, after you have used Fly, it will use a legendary action.
Oh boy.
So that also does not work on you because you can't be afraid.
Woo!
All right. If you want, we could roll initiative while all of this is happening to make things
Absolutely.
easier.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Do we
sounds.
want to do it now or do we want to do it at the beginning of next episode?
Let's just get this resolved right now so that way we don't forget what's currently going on.
Let's make sure everybody is dead before the next episode. 15.
17.
Thanks.
You got
7.
15?
Arjan.
Caelum, what'd you get?
17.
Cori, what'd you get?
I also got 15. My dex is 13.
Okay.
No!
Okay, so Caelum, you have just gone. So legendary action was used. Next up would be Arjan.
So Arjan is where'd you yeet him to?
Just 30 feet in front of her.
Yeah, yeeted you as
So I'm still on the bridge.
far as I could. I mean, depends on how big the bridge is, but I've been running for a while, so.
The bridge is.
Am I still on the bridge?
You are just at the end point of the bridge.
So like, can I skirt to the side and start taking pop shots? Okay, I'm gonna do that. How far is it away?
At this point, it is about 150 feet away.
150 feet?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to take 2 crossbow shots. I still have like a bow lit. $16.
Okay. A 16 goes wide.
Okay, the other one doesn't hit either.
And
The
at
bonus
the
side.
yep. Continue.
That's it.
Okay. At the end of your turn, it's going to use a second legendary action. So that also does not work on you, Cori, as you cannot be charmed.
Oh, John, I swear
Or
to
no,
God.
you have advantage on charm effects as an elf,
I have
right?
advantage.
Okay.
Yes. Give it a go. Oh, Jean, I swear to Corlon, I will true name you. You keep on running right now.
Bye.
Okay. What kind of save with this?
Wisdom.
I'm good at those. 15.
A 15 is not enough.
I know.
Cori, for the next hour, you are charmed.
Oh, fuck. Extra fuck.
Until the beholder harms the creature. You do not repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns. And the charm effect that you receive, you hear, I need a new pet. Be my pet.
What?
That is the emotive nature of the charm, is that this thing wants you to be its pet and to protect it.
Okay. Cori is running just at full tilt, and then she just stops. Like she stares forward. And then she turns around and looks at him, really confused. Is she compelled to do this?
You are underneath it. You are under its charm. And you feel it kind of emotes to you. Come back.
The beauty in the eyes of the beholder.
And
Okay.
you, like, looking
She just
back
starts
at
walking.
it, looking back
Okay.
at it, it's almost like there are the sakura blossoms blowing behind it. It's wearing, like, a little school tie.
Oh my god, he's Bishonen! Alright, well, I'm gonna wait until my turn.
It's your
Got
turn.
a little blush.
Oh,
on
it
the
is
side
my
for the
turn.
Yeah,
sharp
you
teeth.
went
Yeah, okay.
immediately after Arjan.
Cori just stops. She turns around, looks at it, and then just goes, okay. And then she just starts walking back towards him.
Cori,
Does charmed not make them friends, right?
there's a charmed condition in D&D Beyond that you can check.
Okay.
I can't check it because my computer wants me to die.
A charmed creature can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magical effects, and the charmer has advantage on any ability check to interact socially with the creature.
Right. So you don't have to do what you don't have to do what you're told, but you can't attack it. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I know it's not because friends is something different.
Yeah, the charm is written like for a lot. Okay, for an effect that's used a lot on player characters, it's written very much for a player character to use on an NPC. I'm fine with this.
So, Cori, as you are making your way back across the bridge, Arjan, you hear a psst. and you look towards where the psst is coming from, and you see a drow man wearing very nice looking robes that's just hurriedly like, get over here.
No, that's my friend. Fuck you.
Over here. Arjan, make a wisdom save.
Fate Fiend or Undead. Well, I don't get Fable shit. Wisdom save?
Yes.
17.
Okay. You feel like they are trying to magically compel you to get out of the way of danger.
I'll skirt to the side, I guess, or like go. I'm gonna get out of between it and the beholder, but like I'm not leaving Cori.
Okay. And as you approach this drow man, what?
I'm gonna like have like Eldritch Blast energy in my fingers. Like, try that again, bitch.
And they just sort of raise up their hands. And I think that is where we will call it for tonight's session. It's going to be fun. So, I know that I said that we wouldn't stop in combat, but I don't want to play this here Drow Man when I don't have to, because we are going to be having a guest next week. Our dear friend Jordan with the PH is Silent of the Forgotten Realms Explained is going to be joining us for our Four Keeps games. He's going to be playing said Drow figure, so we shall pick up with him playing as his own character. I don't want to use any of their abilities in the meantime. So, thank you so much, everybody, for coming by. This is a great time. First, I would like to say, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ here on the channel, but you can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet haikus about grinding in a mobile game at like 4 in the morning. You can also catch me on Twitch. Hopefully I'll be streaming again if my schedule ever clears up. You can catch myself, of course, here as Caelum, the Shatterkai Wizard Cleric, and tomorrow we're taking our Waterdeep characters to Ravnica. So you can catch myself, LBHackEmUp, and GB. Oh, also Danae Keener of DanaeKeener.com. Hell yeah. As we hopefully don't burn the city down. I might burn the city down. I don't know.
Please don't burn the city down. The city is the planet. You will burn the planet down.
I'll just melt the polar ice caps.
There aren't any. It's Ravnica.
And also, you can catch me every second week, not this week, but next week, over at G Game Nights, where we play Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I play a half-orc dragon aspect barbarian named Samek. He's a good boy. He's the best boy. You take that back, LB.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp of LBHackEmUp on the tweets and the discords. You can find me here Mondays and Tuesdays. Tomorrow I get to reprise my role as the beautiful, wonderful, sensual ghost. I'm so excited. And then this week I will not be on Barry's channel. It's our off week, but we will be doing G Game Nights on Sunday at 4 o'clock for Monster of the Week, where I play Abby, who wears glasses, which is why I did that. And she got kidnapped last session because I wasn't there, so we have to resolve that. It's gonna be great. DanaeKeener.com.
Hi!
I'm Cyber of Cyberwolf1201. You can find me at Cyberwolf1201 on Twitter, where I shitpost and talk about the hype new Critical Role book. You can also find me on twitch.tv/Cyberwolf1201, where I play video games badly and talk about lore, but not this Saturday like I do most Saturdays, because this weekend I'm going to be on twitch.tv/off_the table playing in a special Urban Shadows one-shot, so come see your werewolf daddy. All the archives of my Twitch of the Twitch streams that I usually do go to youtube.com/cyberwolf1, where you can also find D&D Beyond homebrew tutorials and the podcast that Kyle with an N and I do called Let's Talk About It, where we get drunk, do parkour, and talk about stuff. For RPG stuff, you can find me on the DM's Guild, Patreon, where I do Caldori conversions, which I might be able to do a lot more once that hype new book comes out. And I'm here on Mondays, where I play this guy, Arjan the Dragonborn. I'm also here on Thursdays, where I play Albus the Simic Hybrid Sorcerer. And what just got announced is that starting February, on Saturdays, I'm going to be on twitch.tv/ProRestarter playing in a Taldore 5th edition campaign. So come see your werewolf daddy. DanaeKeener.com.
Speaking of which, hi everybody, my name's Wings, also known as Danae Keener of DanaeKeener.com. You can find me here on Mondays playing as Coriander, the Eldrin Pet. And on Tuesdays, we're going to start up on Ravnica, and I get to play as Daka, who is a ridiculously speedy centaur. She's up to 90 feet walking speed right now, so I'm very excited to play her. DanaeKeener.com.
Hello, everybody. If you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am, but if you don't, hi, fella, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have all of our VODs go to YouTube and or any place podcasts are available, all under the same name, Indoor Adventures. The only place where that won't be the case is on our merch place. So if you go to Indoor Adventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com, you will find a plethora of merch. It's a good place because Teespring never sent me an email still. So I'm glad we switched to Redbubble. There, I said it. On Mondays, we have our homebrew campaign. On Tuesdays, I guess I get to say the name of the campaign, which is going to be Waterdeep, War of the Spark. And on Thursdays, we are going to be playing in Ghosts of Saltmarsh, now kind of Ghosts of and also Ghosts of Albus's Past. It's a good time. Other than that, if you are ready to support the show in a number of ways but would like to help support the show otherwise, consider going to patreon.com and signing up for our after show podcast called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community but also from each other, because that is what we are going to be going into now. So first and foremost, I would like to say thank you to these wonderful players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week, and thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for this wonderful excursion. We'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!